Namaste, Jai Bharat. Thank you, Israel. This is what the entire world should tell Israel. This is what the entire peace loving world and the world which want to coexist in harmony and understanding should tell Israel, because they have effectively dictated the advancement and spread of separatist terrorists, no matter who's behind them. No matter which religious ideology pushes them forward, the point is that they are separatist terrorists. They are separatists in their thoughts and terrorists in their action. It doesn't matter that which Darul Islam company pushes them forward. That's secondary, absolutely. What is primary is that fundamentally they think in terms of separate terms, and to execute their thoughts, they resort to terroristic movements, terroristic activities, and terrorism is terrorism, separatism is separatism, whosoever, whatever it is. And Israel has effectively addressed them. And of course, this of course is something new to the Jews. Nothing new to the Jews. They had been doing similar things for the last 2000 years. 2000 plus years, so to say. And of course, being from Bharat, we are happy actually and rather proud that we are the only society in the entire world who did not persecute a Jew by virtue of his being Jew. And many who stayed here went back when they got the promised land materially realized. And many stayed back. You ask those Jews who stayed back in Bharat, who lived in Bharat, how the Hindus are. I needn't give a reply. They also needn't give a reply. You know what they would say. We had a great general, Lieutenant General Jacobs, in Indian Army. He was a Jew. He could have easily gone back to the Israel army, but he preferred to stay in the place where he is born. And you would get his photo when you see General Aurora, that's Sardarji, that's how we call them, is making the Pakistan General Niazi to sign surrender in Bangladesh in 1971 operations. General Jacobs, Lieutenant General, of course, General, standing right behind Aurora. He was a Jew who fought for Bharat with utmost sincerity and honesty. So we should thank Israel to deal with terrorists, but this is a process that never stops. That's an unfortunate phenomenon. They would continue this. The Darul Islam company will always get new recruits. There will be new supplies of money. There will be new recruits. There will be new supplies. There will be new terrorist outfits. There will be new formations of new terrorists with all kinds of the strange names of this, that. Lashkar-e Tayyiba or Jaish-e Muhammad, whatever. These kinds of names will keep repeating. One goes and another replaces. Another goes and yet another replaces. And it appears that the process shall go on ad infinitum. But every time something comes, something has to be done. Otherwise, the Darul Islam company will have their branches even in the moon. They would like to do that. But there is one thing that disturbs is that this section of people never takes any lessons from all kinds of experiences they have. I mean bitter experiences. They won't understand. There will be always new idiots coming forward and doing the same thing which some of the predecessors have done, and facing the same consequences as their predecessors have faced, and continue to suffer as their predecessors suffered. But this process goes on ad infinitum, vitiated by some kind of strange and unknown circularity. We should thank Israel for putting a stop to the at least three, four major such outfits, be it Hamas, be it Hezbollah, be it the Houthis, and now the Syria. There are hubs like Pakistan who pronounces terrorism. Iran was very wise in the sense, very wise or shrewd, whichever word was optional. Word is optional. They won't come in front. They won't come in forefront. They have proxy armies. This is unbelievable that someone has proxy armies who would work for him in an implicit manner and where they themselves are not responsible directly. So you cannot accuse a nation per se, but the proxy armies, they were precisely doing the same thing. Precisely the same thing. Hamas, look at the Hamas, they were making tunnels. Took tens and tens of years, or 20 years or plus, or 40 years or plus, to create such tunnel network, assuming that that's going to put them in safety. At least the leaders they thought would be safe. But this is where you again say thank you, Israel. Instead of killing innocent, simple soldiers who are paid mercenaries, they just targeted the leaders, top leaders, and the leader comes and he's finished. That is something unusual and amazing. For that also you should thank them. Pick up the head so that the others will become neutralized. This phenomenon goes on. They keep fighting. Actually, the whole world has to join them, at least morally. Of course, we are already morally with them, not physically, but we should support them morally. Keep them strong in their war. And of course, this is nothing new to the Jews. That's I just told you. They slipped to go further. It's nothing new to the Jews. 2000 years they have been facing it. The entire world had been persecuting them. The entire world had been persecuting them for 2000 years. Hitler is one namuna. Namuna is in the word, one specimen. Hitler is just one specimen. There were many who persecuted Jews. But what happened? They are still holding key posts all over in most of the countries. Still holding key posts. If you look at the list of the Nobel Prize winners, not the kind of Nobel Prize which was given to this Yunus character of Bangladesh, or to that Afghani girl given. These places Nobel Prize becomes a matter of joke. But prior to that, there was a time when Nobel Prize used to be serious. And you look at the list of the Nobel Prize winners, you find all Jews, none else, all Jews. Their contribution to the world should thank them. That past scientific contributions, plus this kind of defensive contribution, they are actually defending. That right now, they are playing with Syria, another hub of terrorism. Iran, another hub of terrorism. Pakistan is a hub of terrorism. But here, of course, like all other places, the Pakistani people are not to blame. Pakistan themselves are not to blame because they are instruments at the hands of many other outfits rather. So Pakistani authority, they are instruments. There are three parallel running authorities. One, the so-called miserable, unfortunate, poor, democratically so-called elected people, because the democratic elections are not fair and transparent, and the army, which thinks that the ultimate reality. How can a nation have such an army which performs, which is above the civil government? That should never be the case. But Pakistan army thinks they are supreme. They are not. They are soldiers. I myself was a soldier and I have great respect to soldiers. But they are not meant for politics. They are not meant for rule per se. They are meant for some other purpose. They are to defend and when needed offend. That's it. But they can't come to rule just because they wear uniforms and just because they got a commission. You can't become the prime minister. You can't aspire to become the prime minister or president or a dictator. But there had been such cases all over the world, which is unfortunate on any civil society. So that one. And the third and most miserable ignoramus group of the mullahs. They speak all kinds of things. They have answers to all kinds of things. They are supposed to understand everything, and yet they are blissfully ignorant. The blissful ignorance is the right word because they don't know that they are how ignorant, how they are ignorant. So these people are unfortunately instruments in the hands of some kind of unseen, unknown agencies where they suffer. The people suffer. Look at Syria. The people suffer. Look at Iran. The Iranians suffer. Look at any such nation. The people suffer. Don't they have any small consideration for the people? So whoever is behind this Darul Islam company, they don't consider people. I'm sure they don't consider people. Children, women, families, men. Those who want to work and live peacefully. No, that you won't permit. You want them to be terrorists. Anyway, thank you, Israel, once more. Till we meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Sri Ram.